The FIM Asia Supermoto Highlights Show is back. Another 15-minute update on Asia's most exciting two-wheels competition lies ahead of you. We'll have race weekend highlights. We'll be talking to all the key people as well. But before we get to that, let's find out a bit more about this amazing location for round two. Malang is the second largest city in East Java and has a history dating back thousands of years. The city's population is around 820,000 and they dwell within truly stunning surroundings, including miles of dramatic coastline, all part of a region rich in resources and culture, as we found out when we had the honor of talking to the person who governs this area of Indonesia, the Regent of Malang.
Malang Kabupaten sebagai daerah di Provinsi Jawa Timur yang berbasis perkebunan, maritim, ya, perikanan, dan tentunya banyak lagi pertambangan, pariwisata, dan lain sebagainya. Ya. Kabupaten Malang lagi gencar-gencarnya mempromosikan pariwisata. Salah satu event pariwisata itu adalah pariwisata olahraga, sport tourism, sehingga kepercayaan ini menjadi bagian daripada Kabupaten Malang mendapatkan kesempatan untuk mempromosikan Kabupaten Malang sebagai daerah pariwisata.
It already has a booming tourism industry, of course, being an active volcanic region as well, and just 70 kilometers away from the world-famous Bromo volcano cluster that draws millions of people here every year. They get to enjoy a colorful experience and integrate with a vibrant culture. But this weekend, there was a special group of people who felt that experience, the riders for the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship 2016, who were quite simply blown away.
I actually live at the beach in California, but this is much more beautiful. It's amazing here.
It's an eye-opener, it's awesome culture, beautiful country, and I'm glad to be here.
Yep, I find it very beautiful, first time here, and I really love the place here, the beach, the bikes and everything. Yeah, it's cool.
Though the city has a mild climate, October and November are the hottest months. But that didn't deter the organizers from staging a unique press conference on the beach in the presence of media, organizers and the Indonesian VIPs to welcome the riders to Indonesia. They were then treated to a ceremonial handing of something else honored, scarves of the local football club Arema FC, which has a fanatical following in these parts. The day was closed with another unique sight, 8 supermotard bikes at full speed on the coastal roads of Malang. The track that would face this weekend would be different, longer than round one in Australia, but as always was custom built, as explained by FIM Asia Off-Road Commission Chairman Stephen Karapiet.
One thing nice with Supermoto is that we bring the races to the people. You give us an empty lot in a public place, in a shopping mall, in the center of the city, and with all the logistics and all, we can provide you an Asian championship.
And it's that 2016 championship that we will be getting back to in just a bit. Qualifying, race day and more just after the break.
Hi, I am Pedro Wuner from Indonesia. Catch me at the Malaysian finale of the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship
So the focus switches to Stadium Kanjuruhan for race weekend, and as you can see, the tropical climate is really making itself felt. But before we get into the action, let's have a quick recap of everything that happened in round 1 in Australia. Luke George came out top overall with 50 points, Michael Kirkness in second with 42 points, and Gabbett in third with 37 points in the Australian Open Series. While in the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship, Gabbett is now the overall leader with 50 points, being the highest placed Asian rider in both races. Hairi Zakaria is in second with 42 points after finishing second and third highest respectively, and Gabbett's brother, Mohammed Al-Amirul Ashashid, also known as Gaban, is in third after accumulating 40 points. Back at the stadium and circuit, championship leader Gabbett was busy with something else, a riders' briefing with organisers and officials, mainly to discuss the quickly changing weather pattern. Gone was the 46-degree sunshine of the beach, with heavy rains predicted. But even despite that threat, the large Malang motorsports community flocked to the sponsor booths and motorsport fiesta outside, where, as was the case in Australia for round 1, fans could spend time between the various classes of race throughout the day, looking at and buying the very best in supermoto and biking equipment on offer, with smiling faces ready to help. Due to rain, the dirt section had to be abandoned sadly, as most sections were underwater and the jumps waterlogged, leaving a 900+ meter tarmac section for high adrenaline road racing. The earlier free practice sessions for the support races had been run under sunny conditions, but the sky opened up as soon as the FIM Asia riders went out on track, catching them out on slick and semi-slick tyres. Richard Dibben showed the way by being the only rider to break the 54-second mark by posting 53.612 seconds. Andy McLeish pushed his way up into second with 54.186 seconds, while Gaban recorded his new fastest lap of 54.716 seconds, finishing third. Not all had success though, and some even had some very close calls indeed.
Free practice and qualifying, it rained every time we were on track. It seemed like every time we were warming up, it started to let go. So the track was wet, a lot of puddles, and pretty slick out there. Yeah, turn 1, exiting turn 1, I lost the rear. It bucked me a couple times. I thought I could save it, and then it kicked me off pretty good. Landed on my back and then skid across my head for a little bit.
Would the rain continue to wreak havoc, or would the sun shine on race day? Find out in just a bit, back after the break.
Hi, I'm Gabbett from Malaysia. Catch me at the Malaysia finale of FIM Asia Supermoto Championship.
Thousands of spectators had thronged to the trackside by early morning, lining every gap in the barricades. Rain started to fall just as race 1 got underway, and the front row riders charged into turn 1 neck to neck. Lewis Cornish and Richard Dibben passed and repassed each other numerous times, but it was the latter who prevailed. Gubbett had now settled into a rhythm, but cleared of Cornish, Dibben started to put the hammer down, gradually closing the gap to Gubbett. The Malaysia kept that gap at 1 second though. The intense action was not only limited to the front runners, competition was so fierce, a rider even snagged one of the straw bags lining the track, strewing its contents. Although the rain subsided slightly by race 2, it was still heavy by any measure. In his typical style, Gabon gave it everything, pulling away from Gubbett rapidly, followed by the usual suspects of Lewis Cornish and Richard Dibben. Just at the moment when it looked like he was going to dominate flag to flag, his rear tyre though almost went under him, but it regained traction and almost high-sided. Dibben and Cornish did not require any other invitation to hit the front and resumed their race-long close-quarters battle to the end. Dibben again edged it though to claim his second victory. Gubbett started to slow as his tyre woe increased. He would eventually finish 4th. So joy for Malaysian fans as a total clean sweep from race 1 in the Asian class. Khairi Zakari taking 3rd and the two brothers Gabon and Gubbett with a 1-2. Gabon scoring 25 points and his brother 22, tying them on 47 apiece. While in the international class, Richard Dibben made the headlines, fastest over the 2 days and on top on Sunday. Lewis Cornish took 2nd and Gabon made it a double podium as he snatched 3rd. And also some praise for Gubbett in 4th, scoring well now in both rounds so far this year. So Richard, good day for you?
Yeah, I mean it was perfect really. Had some good races and some good battles with Lou and that in the last one, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it went.
Now, what words would you use to describe that weather?
Undescribable almost, isn't it? It was just very puddly in that last one. It was actually had more grip in that last one compared to the first one with the dirt and that off the track, but a few puddles and that made it quite tricky. But
yeah, really good. The first race I struggled a little bit. The bike setup wasn't quite there. We couldn't really get temperature into the tyres, but in the second race I got a relatively good start. Me and Richie broke 3 out front, and we swapped positions a few times, went backwards and forwards, traded the lead in, but it was a shame to lose in a way like that, but I think Richard was the fastest on the day, he deserved to win it, and fair play to him.
Race hari ini bagi saya sangat susah kerana hujan yang terlampau kuat. Pada motor 1 saya agak kurang bernasib baik kerana jatuh di selekor pertama. Jadi saya cuba mengejar untuk menangkap rider-rider yang di hadapan untuk tempat yang terbaik untuk.
Today race 1 I try the best. I starting first and the many rider Gabon and Luis crash, and I consistent my position, and I finish number 2.
Untuk race hari ini saya rasa bersyukur alhamdulillah kerana mendapat tempat yang ketiga untuk Asia dan open di tempat kelima. So saya amat berpuas hati, tapi apapun daya saya akan cuba yang terbaik untuk di next round Filipina.
The results mean the championship looks like this at halfway stage. Gubbett 10 points in front of Gabon, with Khairi now in 3rd, 5 points behind him. That's all from us here in Malang as another round of the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship has drawn to a close. You can catch us next month for round 3 or 4. You can either join us in the Philippines or watch the highlight show right here. For now, it's goodbye.